Hello, welcome to the first day of economics course for San Joaquin Delta College. I'm your instructor, Joel Butel. Most of my students I prefer if they call me Joel. I just want to take this opportunity to say howdy ho and welcome you to the semester. It'll be a quick 12 and a half weeks where you guys will be studying and learning and taking exams and doing your class. Hopefully you guys learned something along the way. I just want to take this opportunity to walk you through some of the items in the class. First thing off, you should have received a couple things overnight. You should have received an email to your Delta email. If you're watching this, that's probably how you found out about it. Saying, welcoming you to your class, explaining some of the items of the class. On top of that, through Etudes, you also could have found out about this. You would have found out some information as well. And then you should have received a link to the course website in your Delta account as well. If you didn't receive one, check your spam or junk folder. If you still don't see one, let me know. And I will work to find you one as soon as, find you one. I'll work to help you get enrolled as quickly as possible. You can just email me at my delta.college.edu email, jbeutel, J-B-E-U-T-E-L. You have it in my email or in the Etudes account. Or you can also as well contact me via my phone number, 951-236-0467. So really quick, first I'm gonna do some screen share and show you guys some of the things that you need to know. So before I do that, let me log in. Just a second, bear with me. I forgot to log into Etudes before I started. Okay, so I'm going to log into Etudes. And just for today, I'm going to use the macroeconomics course as my example. But you guys will be able to use, initially for the first few weeks, the macro and microeconomics course are very similar. The content is what we would classify in general, just introductory economics material. Things like what is economics, what's microeconomics, what's macroeconomics, what are positive and normative means of analysis and statements, what are models and the roles of models in economics. And then we go into some fundamental economic concepts like scarcity and opportunity cost and production possibility models. And first 2 weeks of this course will be exactly the same for both classes. Well, not exactly. I try to twist it a little bit in terms of the way I evaluate your understanding between the micro and macro course. But a lot of the material, most of the material, all of the assignments are exactly the same. If you've had the class before with me or with someone else, a lot of the stuff should be review material. And take it as that opportunity to review and then start getting ahead by using the syllabus to start reading ahead in the chapters. So with that in mind, I'm going to pop up screen share and we're going to do this. So first thing is you'll see you log into Etudes, and I've kept it very simple. I gave you the introductory email with just the information you need. It tells you some introductory things about the course. I also gave you a syllabus. And so if you click on the syllabus, and let's see, I have to do the view mode. So how do I do that? It's been a while. I don't use this as a student too often, so we'll see. So you can open up the syllabus. And we can go through the syllabus, and I definitely want you to read this and confirm via email, as I said in the assignment, that you're going to stay in the course. Syllabus has important information, has my name, has my cell phone number, has my office number, although I also use an office in Holt 244. I'm over there more often than I'm in Bud 404. It tells you the book for the course, although what we'll be using is an e-version of the book that's free. But I know some people, myself included, prefer print copies, so you can buy a print copy if you want. The course text is available here, so if you download the syllabus, you can just click on the link to get to the text. And we'll talk about what you need to do there in a second, because this is Concept Coach and it's textbook. So you can get the textbook as a PDF as well, but you're going to have to use it in this format to do some of your assignments. So you might as well get used to this URL. And you can always find the URL either on your syllabus, which is available here, or on the course website, which I'll show you in a second, or you can find it, well, that's the quickest way. I'd also recommend going up and bookmarking it. I use Chrome, so you click this to the star to bookmark the page. So if we scroll down through the syllabus, tells you my office hours when I'm available in person. You can call me during those hours. You can also make appointments to talk with me other times. Some of my online classes have enjoyed this. I am willing to meet in Stockton on Tuesday nights at Buffalo Wild Wings. I've gone to Tracy in the past for groups of students, although I prefer to go for at least 3 or more students if I'm heading out of town since I live in Stockton. But I am willing to travel within reason. These are important dates. This is your refund date. Since this short-term course, you really only have about a week to decide if you want to stay in before you're forced to pay the money. Your last date to drop without a W is 3/14, so you've got 2 weeks. You'll be able to start the exam, but we'll talk about that in a sec. You probably won't be able to finish it, but most of the assignments for the first section of the course are due by then. And then the last date to drop with a W is 4/15. You've got some prerequisites for this course. The only difference between the courses is reading level 2 is not required for microeconomics for some reason. I guess I forgot that. You've got some information you can read for both courses, the description, the objectives, and the outcomes. You have your student rights and responsibilities, which you can find online. That's the student handbook. Tells you what the expectations are for a student at Delta College. I'm certain you've all read it, but probably not. Time demands and expectations. I always like putting this out in a condensed course. It's a 12-week course. There's a little more pressure. If this course was meeting 2-3 days a week, you'd be meeting for 2 hours a day or more for a 12-week session. So you'd have anywhere between minimum of 4 to, you'd probably have more like 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours a week of class time if you were meeting on campus. You do need a lot of time to study. So the benefit of taking an online course is that you can work on your own schedule. However, it's easy to fall behind. In my course, unlike other courses, I don't let you work ahead. You can study ahead by reading ahead and doing some of the concept coaches, but you can't actually open the assignments before I open them. I pace the course at my pace, which I think is a reasonable pace. Most of the latest knowledge out there shows us that students learn and retain information that's learned over a longer period of time. So if you think you're going to take this class and finish it in the last 2 weeks or week of the semester, I'm just here to tell you right now, you should drop the course because I will not let you do that. You are going to have to take the course as it goes. The course does require internet and a computer. It's an online course. The website I use is it's a version of Canvas, but I've applied it to we've applied it a different setting. It's called Economics in a Box. It does require Flash, although not too heavily, but we'll talk about that. On Apple products, it's recommended to use the Chrome browser for some of the features of the website, but it's not essential. You can get through the course without it. Just send me an email if you have any technology issues. The only tech issues I've had so far are with people forgetting the URL to log in, people forgetting their password, and then people on Macs. And the solution we've worked with so far is that everyone on a Mac who's used Chrome browser hasn't had a problem. This course isn't meant to be completed on a tablet or cell phone, although you can do some of the activities on that. If you don't have an actual laptop or a computer, then you might not be successful in the course. So I just want to point that out. You also have to have a high-speed internet connection. The website does not work very comfortably with low-speed internet, although with some tweaks we've been making, we've been having less problems with people. One of the first things I tell students when we're trying to troubleshoot technology issues is to make sure your computer is free of viruses, adware, malware, spyware, and whatnot. If your computer's corrupted, then you're not going to have a good web experience, and you won't always know. So contacting me, best way to contact me on personal matters is via email. Just include Economics 001A online spring 2016 for the macro course. For a micro course, instead of A, you put B right here, and that's fine. And do that in the subject line. That way I can find your email. I make a goal of responding to emails in 24 to 48 hours, but if you email me late in the day on Friday after I've left, I've been trying to not log in during the weekends, except a little bit on Sunday night to help some people out. So if it's anything truly important, send me a text message. But most issues, I'm not, how should we say this politely? I'm not a hard ass. On most issues, you can wait until Monday to get an answer. If something's due Monday night and you're not going to be able to get it in, just contact me Monday. Expect a response Monday telling you, yeah, take your time, get it done. I'd rather you guys do the things properly and correctly than to rush and get things in. Office hours is a good way to get a hold of me. I'm always available during office hours unless I'm in a meeting or out of town, which I've scheduled my office hours so that's not the case except for some Fridays, and that should be fine. Since this online course, I'd like your writing. I'm not a stickler for grammar or English. In fact, you'll notice I'm not very good at it half the time myself. But I do prefer not to use text lingo, not to use abbreviations, unless they're ones I've been using in the course related to economic concepts when you're discussing items. Remember to write things appropriately and as a courtesy so that we can read and understand each other. And I'll try to do the same. But I understand not everyone's as proficient as everyone. Not everyone's a first English language speaker, so which might or might not mean you're better half the time. If you have anything keeping you from overcoming the course, you're disabled or you're helping out a disabled parent or a student or a child or a friend, basically what I like to say is anything that's going to keep you from being successful in course, it's my job to know that so that I can help you succeed. So if you know that there's something that's going to make it difficult for you to be doing your best in this course, you're undergoing cancer treatments, a family member is that you're taking care of, someone in the family dies and passes away, you don't need to let me know all of the details, but you need to let me know, hey, I'm struggling with the course because of external things. Sometimes there's resources in the Delta community we can refer you to, such as DSPS or a writing center or writing lab if your English isn't your first language and you're trying to improve on your writing skills. But, other times there's not referrals I can make, but at least I can be sympathetic and understand. So the earlier you let me know there's a problem, the sooner I can work with you on it. Here's some important emails on, well, actually phone numbers on campus, but there's emails online as well that you could find. So the important thing for many of you course requirements, and this has changed from prior semesters, so I'm trying to always revamp it. So there's going to be depending on the course, there's 2 to 3 exams and 1 final exam. So you'll have 3 to 4 total exams in the course. That's going to be 50% of your grade. I think this time I will make the exams timed, but I'm going to make the time fairly loose. So I'm going to give you, tell you that you've got 6 hours to get the exam done in. Not that it should take you to 6 hours. The exams I'm giving you are going to be the same exams I give in class with slight modification for the online environment. And the exams I give in class, people have an hour, 50 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes to take, and then 2 hours for the final. So I'm not expecting you guys to work miracles. I will put a time constraint on those so that people just can't spend forever on the exam. I'd like you to open it, do it, and then be done with it. I'm not struggling to get through it. There's no makeups after the fact. So if you can't make a exam time period, if you're not going to get it turned in time, let me know. Hey, I'm not going to make the deadline. I'll give you a break. If this happens every exam, we might have an email conversation or face-to-face conversation on Google Hangouts talking about responsibility and making sure you get things done on time and not always procrastinating. But if once or twice you're not getting things done on time, don't worry. I understand. Just let me know ahead of time. If you let me know after the fact, except for extenuating circumstances, such as hospitalization, jail time, military service, emergencies, then I'm less likely to work with you, especially later in the semester. There's assignments. Some people would call these homework. I tend to call them problem sets in the course. They're 20% of your grade. They're available on the course website, which we'll look at in a second, so you guys can read through those and understand them. They have unlimited tries and no deductions. They're there for you to practice and to improve and get better. They don't have to be perfect, but they do have to be good enough. I grade them on a type of a curve. What I tend to do is grade you relative to your peers. So I'm interested in the fact, in all honesty, since you have unlimited tries and no deductions, eventually you should be able to get fairly decent to high scores on all of these. So what I'm looking for is people to be getting above 85% on these to get an A, as a generality, although it varies based on the course. All assignments must be completed by the exam date or you'll lose the points for those assignments. I am going to try to stick to this time, unless you get, even if you get an extension, you're going to have to ask for an extension on this as well. I want you guys to have the assignments done. There's no point taking the exam and doing the assignments related to exam after the fact. Most of the assignments the problem sets I give out are there for a reason. They're there to help you prepare for an exam. There's a few reader assignments. I don't have anyone helping me this semester. I lost my grader. I wrote about him in there called Kelvin. He won't be with us anymore. He took another job in the fall. So since I've been grading everything, it gets a little overwhelming with the number of students I have. So we have fewer grading reader assignments in the past, so I've made them worth a little less. But there's going to be 3 to 5 reader assignments that you're responsible for during the semester. They'll involve either collecting data or reading newspaper articles and writing about them. They're not too difficult. Then we have Concept Coach. This is actually what I was showing you over here. So these are the directions to do Concept Coach. This is the link from earlier in the syllabus that I clicked on already. You're going to follow these directions and create an account. I'm going to tell you up front, my face-to-face courses have been doing these. They're not perfect. There's a lot of technical issues. The publisher of this textbook is OpenStax, and it's from Rice University, and they give away the textbook for free, and they have funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and from other units. As a part of that funding, they're supposed to evaluate the effectiveness of the textbook. So since I appreciate a free textbook, and I hope all of you do as well, what I want you guys to do is to use the Concept Coach. It's only 5% of your grade, and it's not going to be graded on the percentage correct. It's going to be graded on you making the attempts and doing it. So as long as you're not goofing off, and because I get to see all of your answers, as long as you're not goofing off and you're actually trying, the goal is to really learn something. And for the most part, students have been telling me, other than the technical issues, which are a pain, the problems aren't taking too long. It's taking per chapter of reading about 15 minutes to do the problems. So what you'll do is you'll scroll down to the end of the page, and this is in the directions on syllabus. You click Launch Concept Coach, and it'll launch Concept Coach, and you answer questions about what you just read. So you type in your response, which is, I do not know. And then you can click Answer. And see this, if you get a technological glitch, report the error for them, help out the people, help out future students to make sure it's better. Then it goes, people have unlimited desires. It asks you a similar or same question again, and this time you select from here, and so it says scarce. Let's try scarce, and you hit submit, and it says good, it's right. So then you'd click the next question, and you go on, and you answer the 3 questions for that section of the book. It is what it is, but then you click close like I did in the top, and it takes you back to the book. When you need the next section of the book, you can hit next, or you can always go to contents and you can scroll through the book, because some of the times in the syllabus, I'll show you chapters that we're using, and we're not always going in order. The textbook represents micro and macro econ, and so you'll need to skip around somewhat, but you'll answer questions for the assigned sections of the book. So hopefully that's not too difficult. It is what it is. We're doing this to help the greater good, and we're also doing this to see whether it helps you guys retain what you've read and to make certain that you guys are reading. Now, one of the things the Department of Education is always antsy about when they do reviews on online courses is that you guys are actually out there working and studying and not just cheating. And so part of that is to make sure you're doing regular assignments. And in the case of Concept Coach, this is going to be assignments that you're going to be doing multiples of every week as you read. So it's 5% of your grade. It shouldn't take too long. And as I said, if there's technological difficulties along the way, click report a problem and let them know, and then just keep on going. If everything's not in there, it's not the end of the world. You'll still get the points. As long as you do this assignment and put in the effort, you'll get the full grade. Journals, there's going to be 7 journals through the course, and I've already got the questions laid out for you. It's 10% of your grade to do those. You're required to do them. Journals, I forgot to take this out, but journals are not extra credit for an online course. I'm sorry, that's still in there. I'll go in and edit that out at some point. But journals are not extra credit. Journals are required. They'll be 10% of your final grade. I am willing, once you've done everything required for the course, to allow for extra credit if you think you need it to boost up your grade. So you can correspond with me about that via email. That would be fine. Just some notes on academic integrity and the fact that I can modify the course at any time, just like I did here. I'm going to say this is not correct. I'm not going to allow for journals to be extra credit. Here's the grading scale for the course. Here's the outline for the courses, and they're different between micro and macro. Notice you have readings. Principles of Economics are your concept coach books. This is the stuff that comes from the online textbook. And then there's some handouts, and those will be posted on the course website that I'm showing you in a second. Kitchen Table Economics, Chapter 1 and 2. This book is, it's interesting. That's why I'm having you reading it. And if you take it for what it is, it might help you later in life. As of this point in time, there might be an exam question or two about it, but I'm not planning on doing a lot. I just put it out there. If you guys are really interested in economics, really interested in your future and investing, this book is worth its weight in gold to read and to really understand. So, and I'll probably talk about that later in the semester. Here's your first journal assignment. Write about a macroeconomic problem you're concerned with. What do you guess it says for the micro course? Write about a microeconomic problem. And just do that. They're graded fairly leniently. The idea is if you commit to the project and you're free writing about that concept for a page or so, you're going to get the full points. So anyway, this is the trajectory for the course week by week. The course does end on May 25th at 10 p.m. So everything for the course must be submitted by that time or else you're going to lose problems. This also tells you roughly when to experience exams. The exam 1 will cover material in tranche 1. Exam 2 covers material in tranche 2. So it tells you what the exams cover. The final exam is comprehensive, 70% on new material, 30% on old material. So this is the syllabus, and all of that can be found through Etudes. Now, if you want to keep your life easy, you can always go to Economist in a Box through Etudes. So you click on Economist in a Box. It'll take you to a login screen, which I can't log in because I'm in student view. Which is fine. I'm going to show you how I'm logged in elsewhere, but this would take you to the login page. You don't create an account there. You'll create an account through the email that was sent to you. Okay, so this is the Economist in a Box. After you've created an account, and all that entails, your username is always your Delta student email. All creating an account entails is creating a password. And if you click keep signed in on the page, let me show you what this looks like. If after you've created an account, you log in and you say signed in, every time you click on that link in Etudes, it'll take you right to the course and you're automatically logged in. So anyway, just a second. I'm going to pause and get a drink of water very quickly. Well, it's not wanting me to. So anyway, I'll drink water later. So once again, once you're on the course, you can click on syllabus. Syllabus brings you to what we just looked at, and then it also will pop up here with a list of all of the assignments in the course if you ever want a shortcut to it, at least the ones that have been released up to this point in time. So it shows you, and you can actually click through to the assignments from here. You can also see a breakdown of the course grade weighting. I haven't changed this. They need to change it for this semester. It will reflect what's in the syllabus. If we go back to the home screen, this is the main screen that I expect you to operate out when you're taking the course. The top of the page is class recordings. These are links to classes that I've already given this semester. This is the audio for the course in an MPEG format, MP3 format, and this is a pic for the course. So you can actually see what I wrote on the board. I'm a whiteboard professor. I don't use PowerPoint, so you'll see what I wrote on the whiteboard for that lecture. By the end of the semester, we should have all of the classes up. Near the end, it'll be posted almost in real time as the courses converge. You'll see I'll make notes, no audio equipment due to a malfunction on a particular day. And then I'm still in the process of uploading some of the audio as I go. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm much further ahead than you guys need me to be. So that's always available to you so you can listen and see exactly what the students are doing in the course. When we go back to home, I expect you guys to use course in a linear fashion so you can look at announcements. I'll be sending you a link later today, this evening, for Piazza. This is what we'll use for course discussions. So if you have content related to the course that's about homework problems or exams or dates and times, not personal issues, although you can send me a private message through here. But I prefer you to use the email for that. You can use Piazza to ask questions. So it is what it is, but this won't log in right now because I'm in student view. And then grades will always take you to your individual grade books. I don't give you a grade total, I just give you the information. So here's Tranche 1 contents. It tells you what your reading should be. Here's your handouts, kitchen table econ. It takes you to a link to a PDF of the file. You'll want to open that in a real PDF viewer and flip it so you can read it. When we go back to home, other important things to note. When you see this, it's a link. When you see this, this is a video. I'll be putting the video I'm doing right now up online soon as well. This says it's a link to A to Z of economics. This is just something that I've been working on over the years and growing that I use from other people. This is an economics course it's kind of like a mini textbook. It's a cheat sheet. It also has some interactive things. I'm trying to build this in HTML5 right now. It's in Flash. And I'm trying to figure out how to build it in HTML5, so we'll see. But you can actually plot out points on the graph and create your own production possibility frontier. So a lot of times if you're asking for help on an assignment, I'll say, hey, did you do it? Did you do all of the exercises? If I had done this correctly, it would have given me, oh yeah, a graph. So you can actually walk through some exercises before you try. And there's one of these for almost all of the tranches. There's one tranche that's missing some information. So if we go back to the home screen, okay, we get to these. Anytime you see this little Q in a circle, that's a quiz. They're not technically quizzes. These are what I call problem sets, and you're going to answer the questions. We also have instructor videos. These are videos that I've done on topics in the past. You can also use these to get to my YouTube channel to look for help I've given people in the past through office hours threads and whatnot. So it can be a useful source of information. More videos. There's lots of videos out there. I'm just recommending videos from Marginal Revolution University. You can look at them. The production quality is better than mine, but I'll talk about these more later. And then here's where you find your readers in your journal. The final thing, you guys can explore this and then ask questions, and I'll do another video later this week or next week with answers to your questions. So I don't want to go too in depth because part of the fun of using any software product and website is learning how to use it. And I use fun in a loose sense, but click around. See, there's nothing you can break in here necessarily by clicking on buttons. All of the problem sets are unlimited tries, so you can enter in and out of them. So there's no fear with entering wrong answers or clicking on the wrong things. So test out the website, make sure you understand how it works. Look at the peculiarities. There's a lot of times when you're doing things, you need to look for submit buttons so you can reply to a post. If we go back for some of these, there's a submit button down here. One of them, there's a submit button up on the side. Let's see if I can find one of those. So if you get here, when you follow the directions, so you log in, next. Oh, it's locked because I'm stupid. I need to open it. Oh, maybe it isn't. Okay. Use PPF Corn Wheat. So you download this to answer questions, and then you take the quiz. So anyway, I'll open those up for you and make sure you're ready. Although they open tomorrow as well. So it is what it is. But you just answer the questions. Let's go back here. So the course website, made it cheaper this year, so it's $20. If you can't afford the course website, send an email. We'll make arrangements for you to get a course code. It's not a big deal. Everything's done through PayPal. I don't want anyone to not take the course because it costs money. But remember, my course is extremely cheap. You're not buying a textbook. I'm trying to keep everything as cheap as possible. And over time, we're trying to keep this as cheap as possible. If you drop the course, you can get a full refund. We're trying to cover the bare minimum of, I'm working with a group to carry over the bare minimum, make sure that the course stays online. So it's more a labor of love. We're trying to make it happen and let as many people take the class as possible. So when it comes time after the first exam to get to new material, you're going to have to pay, or you'll have to email me for a code. You'll enter the code there in a quiz module. So if you have any problems with that, just let me know, and we'll be sure to make sure that you're helped out. But we started at $30, and we were able to make sure we were covering the costs, and so now we're dropping it to $20, and I'm trying to keep getting the cost down so that we can cover the costs and make sure that the website stays up and running, and you know, everything gets accomplished so that as many people can take it as cheaply as possible. The goal is to someday get it down to very close to free. If we could get someone to donate server space and whatnot, that'd be awesome. But for right now, trying to cover the bills for the guys over at Dismal Student, so and help the community out. So anyway, it is what it is. But if you have any questions, just send me an email and ask. But this is the course in a nutshell. And as I said, test things out, try them, experiment, and have fun. I mean, that's what you do. So if you have any questions, feel free to call, feel free to email. And I look forward to working with you through the course. And hopefully you'll see my face again at some point in the future, answering questions. Although by this point in time, I've done a lot of videos. So a lot of times I refer you to videos I've done on how to address certain problems. But I hope the best for all of you, and it was nice to get to talk to you. Thank you. Bye.